What up, database? Did it all sound here?
Oh, dang, that was quick. Hello, everyone.
And Pitt's there too. Sorry, again, I've been out for a couple days. I've been working a few for over a week. I've been working nights and stuff. It's just kind of getting hard to do this consistently. But anywho, all right, let's get down to business. Now let's get some of the light stuff out of the way first. First, a little update on Deadbeat Duggie West, Bridget West's father. And apparently he deleted his first channel, but he made a new channel. I'm guessing he's thinking that's going to solve some of the problem. But while backlash wise he's still kind of going unscathed. That I think it's a good step in his downfall. He had no right to treat Bridget and Michael and everyone else the way he did. Like seriously, wishing a miscarriage on your daughter. Who does that, man?
Only deadbeats.
Yep. Well, people just call him a horrible person and all that. That he pretty much, well, he is that. He does fall under like the term deadbeat. Beat, what do you think?
Pretty much. One of those deadbeat dads.
Yeah, seriously. And also, he wasn't there when Angry Grandpa passed away. They actually told him, like he's gonna pass away. And what was his response?
I don't know.
He's like he's he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come. I'm fishing." You wouldn't go see the last words of your quote unquote friend.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just you know what, Dougie. You know what, Doug. You're garbage. All right. So, and then we have another thing. Onision is back. Is back again.
As an adult or as a big baby.
Ugh, and he's now false copyright claiming videos that criticize him.
Oh, lovely.
He's abusing YouTube's copyright system, and let me just say, seriously, somebody should make a petition.
To get rid of him or something?
Yeah, and keep his channels terminated for good. Why they reinstated him in the first place, I have no idea. YouTube doesn't seem to like him. As you probably know.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it at this point.
Alright. Other things in the news. And also, Onision, I just gotta say this again. If you're watching this, leave me alone. Leave us alone. So anyhow, all right. So tonight is going to be a little more of a serious topic to talk about. now I'm just gonna say, all right, now let's just get down to this. So as you probably heard, if those of you probably have heard of Karlee Steele and Connor Bobay, well, they broke up like a nasty breakup, if that, like almost 5 months ago. It really has been shorter than I thought it had been.
That is pretty short, actually.
Yeah, and I saw these things that like they're going to see each other, and let me just get my thoughts on this. Well, after watching the whole video and doing some research, apparently Karlee's going to see him, like trying to get into to make amends and just try to get over him, but now I will say that is, like going to make amends, make peace, and just be friends. That is a healthy step. Yeah, but while the videos don't really get hate, it's more like fans are just like, you deserve better, like don't get back with him, and it makes me bring up the question: if it was as bad as like they made it out to be, why would they go back and talk if there was some type of like physical abuse involved, which I don't know if there was. Again, one thing you gotta say is they can say what happened, but we will never truly know what happened unless we were there. Am I correct or am I wrong?
I really got nothing to say against that.
Yeah, you don't know. And I think one of the biggest reasons, like the relationship went downhill and like as got as bad as it did is because they were pretty much in a domestic relationship. And and to me they did it a little bit too young. I don't know how old they are currently. Currently they're either maybe a year older than us or maybe a year or two younger than us. But all I can say is he's like, you know what, for the sake of everything, don't get into domestic relationships that young. So I believe they were like 18, 19 when they moved in together, maybe 20.
Okay.
And I feel now you're gonna and here's the thing, it makes logical sense to not get into a domestic relationship until you're married. I'm not bashing anybody who does it before that, but it just makes logical sense. And like if you think about it, it actually does make logical sense. So but the thing is when you get into like these type of relationships very young, there are going to be problems that occur that like that are going to be harder for like say people of that age to deal with rather than if they were adult like in their later 20s because 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 when they're that young they're not exactly fully mature enough to understand or really know how to handle these particular problems.
You're right on that.
Yeah, it really has to do with age and maturity. Like I'm not saying, and I mean some people do this okay, but then there are those others that ends up ending badly. And so I get to my point. Do I think their relationship? Do I think they should get back together? Should their relationship recover? Well, my honest answer is not at this time. I'd say they need to stay friends, stay apart for at least until they're a little older and have a little bit more maturity to handle situations.
And you know what, dudes? This is why you stay single. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't, like I said, I'm not bashing people who get into domestic relationships at a young age, but how many of them actually do work? Now, I can only think of one thing that could have made this breakup between them even worse is that if Karlee was actually pregnant when they broke up, and he's the
Yeah,
father.
pregnancy always makes things worse.
Yeah, it makes it even worse. But let me just tell you, I'd say a YouTuber who the YouTubers that kind of get this, like young domestic relationship thing right, is Cam and Fam. While I think they're again too young to be parents and like too young to really be getting married. I mean, their wedding's on the way and they're 18 right now.
Okay.
But the thing is, they are taking responsibility for what has happened, and they are trying to make it work at a very young age.
Yeah, it doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work, and I'm just saying I'm glad Landon is actually willing to be in Cameron and Colette's life. He's actually taking responsibility, and it's yeah. Again, like I'm saying, they're really taking on responsibilities at a young age that they shouldn't have been taking on. But to be honest, they're doing fine. I mean, they just got a house in Texas. Though what's concerning for me is the fact that while Cameron makes a good amount of money on YouTube every month, while she makes a good amount of money, my concern is the fact that like one day that's probably not going to be able they're not going to be able to settle off just that. I'm really thinking I really think like Landon should get at least like somewhat of a part-time job in case like the like the revenue drops because when you have an internet job, it can go away just like that. Like how many people have we seen, suffer from this?
Probably a few people.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, and so yeah, and when it comes to like a revenue, things have only gotten worse, and YouTube has gotten even more paranoid and just being cowards because some guy who's angry that he couldn't become big on YouTube started spewing out disgusting accusations.
Oh yeah, this whole
Matt Watson. So far, he stayed away, and I do agree he should stay that way. Stay away. Leave this platform. None of us want to see you again. While his first video got a lot of attention and like a lot of support, let me just say, once some things started coming out about his true intentions, let me say, the backlash was so severe. I mean, the videos he made after that one got pretty much more dislikes than likes. I mean, almost all of it was dislikes. So all I just gotta say, well, Matt Watson, I hope you're happy. Happy. Now get out of here. And then there are some people like this commentator named Rebzilla who support him. Screw you, man. Anybody who supports a freaking liar and a fraud fraud like that, that is just, you gotta rethink your life, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, who would support a guy like that? It's like those people who support Onision.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is that this Matt Watson, he is a nobody. He's a complete nobody. Well, I could say Onision is somewhat of a somebody, even though that image is fading. Fading, but
Continue.
it's fading, but Matt Watson is a true nobody. And okay, I've ranted enough about Matt Watson. Let's get back on the topic at hand. All right, so I'm just saying when it comes to domestic relationships, I'd say you need to be older than eight. My opinion is like you got to be at least in like close to mid. All I say, you need to be in your 20s before you can even consider that. That's just my opinion. That way, you're more mature and you learn how to deal with these problems that say an 18-year-old cannot grasp or understand.
Yeah. You know what's real funny is when you have like these 12-year-olds who are like, I'm a grown woman and all that. It's like you're 12.
Yeah, you're 12. Man, and the fact that man, Mari. I mean, yeah, you can say what you want about Mari Povich, but that's kind of been a guilty pleasure since my early teenage years. But but still, questionably if it's real or not. I honestly don't care. I don't care, but if it's fake, whatever. If it's real, whatever. But you got these teenage girls who are just like, I'm grown, let me party, blah blah blah. Let me say, you're too freaking young. Young. You're drinking and smoking marijuana and stuff like that. Those are adult pleasures.
Yeah, save those till you're at least 18.
Or 21 if that.
Yeah.
Those are
Don't break the law, kids. But if you do, at least wait until you're 18, I guess.
or 21 depending on the state, but the state if you live in the US, but seriously, those are adult pleasures. And they say they're having, sex at that at that young of an age. Sex is an adult pleasure too.
Yeah, I mean, I know puberty and all, but come on.
Come on. Are you really ready to throw your life away?
Some people definitely do not think that part through, though.
No, they don't. And yet some of these people some of these people you say that like they get pregnant at a young age, but yet once they have the baby, they may say they love him. Oh, I love my son. I do everything with him. When they don't do crap with them, their parents pretty much raise the child, and they just go out and do whatever the freak they want, and not care about being a mother.
Yeah.
That's
Women out there like that.
just gets me to the point. Like seriously, if you end up finding out, oh, having a baby sucks, I don't want to do this, then why the freak did you conceive that child anyway?
Or at least give it up for adoption.
Yeah, but then again, that's kind of a responsibility on you. Especially if you choose.
Adoption is
yeah, it's just like, yeah, for example, yeah, and back on Cam Fam, they do this actually nicely. They actually do. They like I said, they take good responsibility as parents, and they and they've and they've and they've had to give up, like a lot of fun things to do to raise a family.
That's all part of the deal, man.
Yep.
You had to give up your life for partying for the most part.
Yeah, I I remember seeing this post on Facebook of like some girl. She's just saying like, now that I now that that I have had a baby right now, it just alcohol alcohol and partying to me, it's just not desirable. But what is like keeping a tidy house and just taking responsibility.
I mean, I myself have no issue going out, getting drunk and partying. But I guess if I did have a family, that would have to kind of die down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing, it's just when it comes to like alcohol and marijuana and just and even pornography, those are adult pleasures. At least
Well, I mean, okay, I don't know if there's really anything wrong with someone believing the sexual attention, at least. I don't know if there's anything too wrong with that.
but it's when they start doing it constantly, then it becomes damaging.
Well, yeah, there are adults that do that too, though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but when you're younger, it's even worse. Am I right? When you're
I
younger,
don't know.
when you're younger,
I don't know. I can't agree with you on that.
all right. But still, for the most part, like alcohol, sex, and weed are adult pleasures. It's just like it's like some of these out of control kids you see not just on Mario, but just anywhere. Whether you have like a family member or a family friend who has a kid who's just being absolutely difficult. Gold, it's just like, and I know that can be hard. While I don't really have any family members that are really, out of control, at least not in at my basic, extended family. I'm pretty sure out on the outskirts of say, like of the families of say, like my grandparents' family or like say my great uncle's side or whatever or
Okay.
great aunt's side. Yeah, I do. I actually do know. Yeah, like my grandma's brother, his kids, his kids are like I don't know why. I don't know how they turned out so different, but they are but they are rough. They are rougher than anyone else in the family. I don't know how they turned out so different though.
Hey, everyone has their own personalities.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like they weren't raised well. At least like my great uncle, he didn't raise his like his kids that way. But everyone turns out different, I guess. I find it weird how we're sounding like a couple of parents ourselves. But if you, it's best to do that to get a point across.
Okay.
I'd say it's good enough for that. Yeah, and as far as someone else in the news, KSI and his brother, basically his brother Denji made an exposed video of him, and then now KSI is losing subscribers. The question is, why do you have beef with your brother, man? I don't care the reasoning, but the question is, why? Why did you start that beef to begin with? He's your brother.
There's always that. There's usually all of those kinds of people in the family
I'm just saying
that just like to start drama.
Yeah, and the thing is, they weren't always like this way. In fact, they were really close, and I don't know what got between them. But for some reason, they just have this beef now. My question is, like, seriously, family's supposed to be forever. Friends, come and go, but family is supposed to be forever.
Well, they do say there is no end in family.
You're right, there isn't, but the question is, why the freak are they not even getting along? Let me just tell you, I don't care what the reasoning is. They should not be fighting and being and just being in that type of like a type in this type of situation. Period. I really don't think they should be. What do you think?
I'm not one to judge on family matters, though.
Yeah, but then you have. Oh, and let's do an update on that James Charles situation. Apparently, Tati was stretching the truth. And the fact that she just got jealous because he was supporting some other company and not hers so much. It's corporate culture. Culture, you know?
Yep, corporate culture.
It's corporate culture. The minute you turn to someone else, they'll bite you.
Yep.
They'll bite you, and it's just. I mean, while Tati is getting backlash, it's not outweighing the likes though. But you could definitely see there are some people who are angry with her. And then we get on an update on Pro Jared. Now, apparently, a lot of the stuff, like his wife said about him, and this whole thing were mostly lies. And the thing is, there's no confirmation still if he's, like sent, like sex to to underage girls. There is just no proof. Proof that it's not true. There really is no update about that. I watched Gamer from Mars's video on the updated situation, and even he didn't. I mean, he built up like he was gonna state if like those accusations were true, but he never did for some reason. You know who Gamer from Mars is, right?
Yeah, I know who Gamer from Mars is.
Yeah, it's just. I'm just going, why didn't he touch on it? I have no clue, but I don't know if he knows. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But let me just say, let me just say, the drama's just going to continue no matter what. There's just a lot of stuff that they should have just sorted out in private. My opinion, I'd say, is, say if you're a YouTuber going through a divorce, I don't think you need to make a video about it and saying why it happened, Maybe make a little video explaining that it's happening, but don't explain why. And don't make videos after it, like criticizing the other person. To me, that's not keeping it very private.
No, it obviously isn't.
It's not keeping it private. Divorce is a private matter. You shouldn't have to tell people about it.
Well, people do anyway.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just these people just I don't think they have much sense. Like once they become big YouTubers, like what to like post and talk about and what to keep private. I don't know why. It just seems to happen that way.
I guess whatever gets attention. Maybe that might be it.
Maybe, but it's just it just I don't know, man. It's just like also John Scarce, the YouTube news guy, returned after 6 months of absence.
I'm trying to remember who that guy is. Who is he?
He's just a YouTube news guy. But now he's just become kind of inactive. I mean, he comes back, but he but like it's not like he's even trying to compete with Keemstar anymore. Yeah, literally, he comes back and like just starts video like nothing ever happened. Also, my favorite Let's Player multi-classic gamer is finally coming back. Back
After
soon.
who knows how long?
Yeah, I mean he's had some update videos, but he's had to move once again, and he's moved to Wisconsin. Yeah, he used to live in Washington. I do remember very vividly where like his hometown is. It's Sultan, Washington.
Sultan?
Yep,
Huh.
Sultan, Washington. Yeah, and I know at one point he did mention he once did live in Everett, Washington. Yeah, so he's coming back and and what's he doing to celebrate coming back? What else than a SpongeBob game Let's Play marathon? Yeah, if I haven't noticed, he's a huge SpongeBob fan. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah, I guess you like what you like.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah, and he's managed to get a hold of a lot of SpongeBob games recently. Yeah. Now, I'm glad he's coming back. Like there was a point where I was it's weird. Have you ever had that one YouTuber who who's who's like goes away for a while and just when you're about to lose hope that he's not going to come back, he comes back? You ever had a YouTuber like that?
No, not
Ever?
really.
Yeah, it's just like it's that like that reviewer frequency. I mean, there was a one time where he almost quit, but like for a while it was just you he would go away for so long, like months and months on end, but just as I was about to lose hope that he was ever going to come back, he came back, with a video. I mean, he still doesn't upload very often, But, he's still back and he's making videos more than he used to. So I guess that's a good thing.
Continue.
I guess that's a good thing. I do remember that live stream when he came back after over a year. And he told the story of how. And apparently once he was. I don't know if he's talking to him now, but I know that he did have an acquaintanceship with, or at least a small friendship with the Wii viewer at one point. Can you can you? I'll have to call you back. Hold on.
Oh, he's acting up?
No, I got another call.
Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Hello. What's going on? All right. All right. Is this Xenoblade? You could have just texted it to me and I would have did it either way. What? It's one of those things that has a bunch of text that strains my eye and is a pain to copy and paste. I'm not doing it. All right.
Well, we managed to finish this phone yet. Or do you just want to call it quits?
All right. Anyhow, we're up to 38 minutes, so I say it's time to conclude this broadcast tonight. Good night.
Alright, good night, man, I guess.
All right.